Oh, forget it. I can get all the direct answers to my questions, because we have Team Bald's very own Gorgc with his daily NFT take / winners interview. Congratulations on the win, Gorgc.
Thanks, Tsunami.
Are you relieved?
Well, yeah, you could say that. I mean, we got very comfortable towards the end there, and we were just like, whatever, dude, who cares if we're dying? But once you start dying like 4 or 5 times on TB, that's when you start to get a little bit worried.
Yeah, let's go through the highs and the lows of that game. The highs, how did it feel picking that last pick Broodmother? Was that like, oh, we have
I was watching, like, in between the series, I tuned into the Tundra games, and I was like, hold up, they're just picking Brood every game, and they're destroying. Why don't we do that? And then I just suggested it, and it worked out.
Yeah, Rajik's definitely converted on it. Now, how about the lows?
Yeah.
How about you sundering your Weaver and your Weaver being like, nah, I think I'm gonna time lapse myself.
Well, I mean, first I was supposed to sunder my Quap, and I didn't feel safe. I didn't know how much mana the Storm had, and I kind of got shamed into sundering the Weaver instead. I shamed myself. Okay, I gotta save somebody here. I gotta do something. It kind of worked out.
And then you eventually did kind of get redemption. You were able to sunder your Quap. But I don't really know if you were thrilled about that.
I was not thrilled. I was like, oh boy. This is not good, boys. That's when the despair started coming in. Maybe we don't have this anymore.
Understandable, but you did clean it up in the end. And while I'm sure the overwhelming majority of the people watching this game are very familiar with you, I want to get some questions for the people who may not know you as well. How seriously are you guys taking this Team Bald Reborn thing? Are you guys doing replay analyses? Are you scrimming? What's the atmosphere like?
I wouldn't say we do a lot of replay analysis, but we do have a coach, and we do talk about the games in between, so it's not like we are kind of whatevering this. We do not scrim, though. Scrimming is for noobs. We still stand by that. The real practice is on the field. And yeah, so I would say we take it somewhat seriously. You know, you get more serious the more you lose, because losing sucks no matter what, right? You don't have an excuse. So after our last 2 series losses, I think we took this series a little bit more seriously.
So can you tell us about this like coach but not scrim meta that you guys are pioneering? Because your coordination in game was really solid. I was impressed. Obviously you took like maybe 2 bad fights, but as a whole you guys are playing together really well. The drafts make sense. So do you feel like it brings your drafts together and that makes the games easy, or are you guys just executing well?
I think it's a bit of both. I think we definitely our drafting improved a lot. Coach helps a lot. Shout out to Rhyme. He helps a lot with the drafts, and it really shows. But the togetherness, we have been playing for a while now, more than a year, so it kind of comes naturally, I think.
Cool.
Are there any stream habits that you and Excalibur, also being a streamer, you have picked up that you've brought to the team? That energy, the vibe, the mentality, the winner's focus, anything like that you found transverse the medium?
You're not gonna get any good habits from streaming, I think.
Any bad habits that you brought
down a little bit? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I can't vent when I'm playing in the team. You know, as I usually vent to my stream when my 5 is fucking up. Screwing up. So I kind of just gotta keep it bottled inside a little bit. I'm used to letting it out. Gotta find other means.
Does it affect how you play?
I mean, not so much, honestly. It's a completely different vibe when you play professionally. The goals are different and stuff. Like, all that matters is the win, not how well you're doing particularly right now. It does affect me a little bit, I think, though.
How does it feel like the game you played, Medusa? Your lane was really tough, obviously, but then you just got to sit back and just hit Ancients for like 15 minutes. Like, is it just like comforting knowing that your team's owning? Like, is it just like make the camaraderie better?
It does feel great. You just see Quap mega kill, Hoodwink, like triple kill. You're like, that's just music to your ears when you're hitting a triangle as a carry. It's awesome.
Do you enjoy those games more than the games where you have to show up to the fight and kind of put it on your back?
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
For sure. That's all. That feels great. I'm doing my job. You know, I'm just hitting my triangle. Don't even have to use my brain anymore. And yeah, it feels awesome.
How about competitive games in general? I know, I imagine that aspirationally you were hoping to achieve a strong competitive background. Is this scratching the itch, being able to play in Div 2 as much as you hoped? Or is this kind of teasing you, but not quite?
It is kinda. I am still waiting for a real opponent to come down to mingle in Division 2, like maybe Alliance or Nigma. Then my competitive itch will be scratched for real, I think.
Why not you up to Div 1?
No, it definitely can happen. But we'll see. We'll have to win a lot of games.
I like the optimism, surely. Congratulations on the win. If you have anything that you want to say to the many loyal viewers who are turning down the opportunity to see Tundra versus Spirit, to see Bald versus Ghost Frogs, the floor is yours.
Thunder versus who? I don't even know why you would
Exactly.
watch that game. Of course they're here. Makes sense to me.
I'm glad that they're here too, and I'm glad that you get the win. Congratulations, and looking forward to seeing how Team Bald Reborn do with the rest of the season.
Thanks, man. Have a good one, guys.
Thanks. See you later, Gork. I'm glad that he seems to have the proper hybrid balance between taking a competitive thing seriously, but also bringing elements of streamer culture into Div 2 action. Something that Arkosh and NA is attempting to do, but perhaps not as.
Is streamer culture not practicing? Is that what you're implying?
I think that is what it is.
But they're definitely playing far better than Arkosh. There's no doubt about
Yeah.
that. They have great coordination. They have highly talented players who are good at the roles that they're playing. They didn't role swap a bunch. Like, we have cohesiveness, so it's fun
Slacks
watching.
isn't their manager, and
Exactly.
they have a coach.
They do have a coach.
Yeah, that's true.
Although Arkosh does scrim on occasion, whereas they have stayed true to their scrims are for cowards. It's on-the-job training that really solidifies and galvanizes these teams, and it worked. Where else? I mean, like, you know, you sunder a Weaver in a scrim, that won't really burn you, but you do that in an official, and you're like, oh god, I'm never going to do that again.
Yeah, I think that is where the streamer mentality helps that team. They've been through it all. They play 20 pubs a day, 24 hours a day. They're in there building the mentality, getting fortified against the rage of the flame, the all chat, the Twitch chat. They're used to it. Nothing
shame,
affects
dude.
these guys.
That's true.
See how calm and happy Gork was?
Yeah.
It's like, this is just
Another day at
easy
the office.
game. Just an easy game. My teammates aren't mad at me. I'm not mad at them. I mean, maybe he is, but
He is, but he can't vocalize it.
is-
But it's okay. He's happy because he is now 2-2. As we can take a look at the standings here in Div 2, Western European region. That's right. It's gonna be Team Bald. Oh, never mind. Wait, that doesn't look right. I believe we need to swap.
Team Bald
the Ghost-
won.
Yeah. Okay. Well, most of this is right, aside from Ghost Frogs and Team Bald Reborn. Those scores are inverted, but yes, Chicken Fighters. Oh,
They probably updated that after they threw twice, and there's like,
Correct,
there's no way. They
yeah.
saw the roach starting, and they're like, well, it's definitely over now.
maybe they just don't think
Updated.
they deserve the win of that game.
I think so. This is all scripted after all. It's all been predetermined. But they are middle of the pack. They are 2-2, and now Ghost Frogs are 1-3. So things getting a little more dangerous for them in terms of relegation territory. What happens when you get relegated out of Div 2?
You don't get paid, and they kick you out.
They kick you out,
Yeah.
and
that's a
who
rough
gets
one.
to go in
Arkosh Gaming.
Open qualifier teams.
for 2 slots? There's open quals for 2 slots.
Yeah, every season, 2 slots for Div 2 to join
So you can't get back in.
You can get back in, and in theory, now that there are 3 seasons, you can make it to TI. So
That
whoever
is
gets
true.
yeah.
You'd have to, I guess just being in Div 2 puts you into qualifiers for TI. So yes, you could like qualify for Div 2, play in the TI qualifiers, and win that.
Or they could do well season 2 Div 2 and then season 3
To get to Div 1,
exactly.
and then they'd have to get to like top 4 Div 1
in terms of points
to qualify for to the major, and then crush
get-
the major. Yeah, it's a much higher chance that some team just is like, let's form a power team. We qualify for Div 2, then they win the TI qualifiers. That's the easier path,
True.
so to speak.
I don't think any of those paths sounded easy, but
That one's more plausible than be like, we're gonna plan ahead, get into Div 2, crush Div 2, get to Div 1, crush the major, then qualify for TI. I don't know. That's
what a great story that would be if that happened, though.
Fluking like one TI qualifier sounds way easier to me, personally.
you just fluke it to the top.
Fluke one,
Fluke
one
2 TIs like OG, you know? It's
exactly.
easy.
But there's no fluking here. Team Ball have earned their 2-2 score versus no Bounty Hunter and then Ghost Frogs, which means that now the competition they need to worry about is the Chillax and the Into the Breaches. And then if they are able to make their way into the upper echelons, then I believe they would have to beat Brame Entity. They would have to beat Chicken Fighters, which is a tall order. Chicken Fighters currently
Good team.
undefeated. So maybe easier said than done. But Gorgc seems content with his Div 2 situation.
I think they should be. Like, if when we watch Arkosh over in the NA scene, they have sort of similar mentality. Like, they're content creators. They don't scrim as much as a normal team does. But Team Ball did not embarrass themselves
No.
so far. So they played real solid Dota. Their drafts made sense. It was fun to watch their games. I think it's like kind of night and day. So I think they should be happy and proud with where they're at.
And you guys should be excited about the final day of the DPC before the Christmas break kicks in. It's going to be Entity versus Chillax as lower div action continues tomorrow. Then after that, it's going to be the Cool Guys versus OG. And last, the final game of the DPC before we all go to sleep and hibernate. It's going to be Liquid versus Secret. Yay! Yay! Can I get a yay?
Yay.
Yay.
Yay.